Hey guys, what's up? This is Handyman Studios. We're back again. We're actually going to see this machine, this thrust spinning frame machine. It's Lock and Canal Company, Lowell, Massachusetts. It was made in 1835. We're actually going to see it on.
That's a great, very frequently asked question. So the question was, do they do this with different colors? Later, absolutely. In the first version of the mill, the only goal for Samuel Slater is to get machines that turn that relatively clean, fluffy cotton into tight, finished thread. When it left the mill, it would be bleached in a meadow, which is where a lot of you probably parked. There's our parking lot today. It would be bleached outside in a meadow, and natural dyes through flowers and other plants were used afterward. Slater's really only goal was to get machines that would turn that cotton into thread. This machine is from 1835. It was made in Lowell, Massachusetts by people who would have known of Samuel Slater but had no connection to it. I mentioned at the beginning, the revolution is the spread of the technology. It's that it can be copied and done over and over. What started as a very tightly held secret in England comes to the United States via Sam Slater and spreads.
I mean, this is the wheels that spin it though back here.
Other people start to build the machine. You can tell this is not made for a child to operate. It's actually made for a young adult, which was the hiring preference in Lowell. When I turn this on, these are moving because they're being acted upon. Think of this as like your paper towel roll. This has what looks to be something just like yarn, but is actually a very weak form of cotton called roving. This is cotton that has been brushed and given one twist and wrapped along this bobbin. But if we give this any pull whatsoever, this comes apart. This does not have strength at all. In that process of pulling and twisting down through the rollers, we are able to make lots of thread at once. When I turn this machine on, I ask that you don't put any part of you in the machine. You're thinking, Allison, who would do that? 3 people. So please don't do that on this tour. I feel really good about all of you, but I am going to turn that on. It's going to be a little loud. If you want to cover because you're not sure if it
all right, guys, it's going to be a little bit loud.
Feel free to do that.
All right, here we go.
About 10 seconds. Watch as those lines are coming down, and we'll talk about what we saw.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. All the machines moving down there. This is moving freely. Moving the belt. Moving along here. This is to the back of it right here. These are the wheels that are moving right there. See? That's how it used to move. It's very loud.
Imagine every one of those seconds standing in for an hour of your day. From the time the sun came up to the time the sun is coming down. You're thinking, Allison, this tour is starting to feel very long. Yes, it is. We are ending. But people spend very long days in front of this machine. And I want to tell you how these 2 Sams, right, where their story departs. Mention that Sam Patch did not want to work a spinning frame for Samuel Slater for very long. Around the same time that Samuel Slater leaves Pawtucket to invest in other mills, Samuel Patch is exploring other opportunities. He does actually continue working in a mill and tries to raise enough funds to start his own businesses, but the main way he makes money is by jumping into waterfalls, including parts of the Niagara. Unfortunately, his life ends very young. It's cut very short in 1829 with his last jump into the Genesee River. People were so fond of Samuel Patch, who's our country's first daredevil, that people at first thought it was a great stunt. Sadly, it was not. And his epitaph, those kind of final words for him, were such is fate. So unfortunately, that is the end of his story. He lived most of his life in obscurity. We would not know anything about him if he did not jump off the roofs of mills and into rivers. He stands in for most kids that worked inside of most mills, who opted not to use lunch to jump into rivers, which is a good thing in the long run. Samuel Slater died the same year this machine was built in Lowell, Massachusetts. He lived to be 65 years old.
Damn.
Samuel Slater estimated that he spent 6 to 7 days out of the week for almost his entire life inside of a mill. When he was writing to his investor for one of the last times, Moses Brown, in his 60s, his hands were so cramped he couldn't pick up an instrument to write. His body fell apart after all those years of working and managing mills. Samuel Slater did, however, die a multimillionaire. We look at these two threads of cotton coming down. Remember that all of this cotton started somewhere else in the world. Lots of people, including children, had to touch and work that cotton just for it to arrive here. When we pull two separate strands of cotton down through this machine, they become inseparable. All of us who is wearing something today, made in part by cotton thread, we have a connection to this machine. Every one of us. We have a connection to the people who make our machines and make our clothing. When those two lines come together, they cannot be taken apart. I cannot tell you the Sam Slater story without talking about the children he hired. I cannot talk about Sam Patch without first telling us about Sam Slater. And that's why I like to talk about two Sams. Of course, there is much more to our story here in this building. We have lots of machines and things to look at. Unlike a historic mill, we care about your free time. You are not trying to eke out a few free hours aside from your 14-hour shift. So, if you would like to exit out the front, you are absolutely welcome to do that. You want to go straight ahead towards where you see exit in the visitor center. We have Junior Ranger and a film. If you want to ask questions, I have plenty of time and I'm very happy to take them. So, thank you for visiting.
I got a question. So my question was, though, I actually been up to the New Bedford Museum. Actually, back in the day, it was actually called child labor. That's what it's called, back in the 1800s. And they actually had to work 40 hours through the days, though. You guys hearing this song? My channel's Handyman Studios 68.
Okay, yeah.
And we go around, we film like usually history, documentations. And actually when I was at the Whaling Museum, actually they have a lot of this cotton there.
Yes.
And what my channel was, is I couldn't get it because I actually, as one of those, this is a new camera, so.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so I did 360 by accident. I didn't realize I was doing 360.
No worries.
But I am gonna have that museum, that whale museum, but in the whale museum, they have this cool piece upstairs that's on the second floor. I don't know if anybody wants to visit ever, but, and they have all about the history, all about the mills, all about child labor, all about the maps and everything in New Bedford. So
Very cool. Very cool.
they have a lot of this stuff.
I'll be right back.
Oh man, I don't know if I can see this machine on again and power again. This is pretty cool. These machines, however, these machines are actually, that's been the, if you guys want to know anything about these machines, I know a little bit of them.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, I do. My name's Mike, and I'm with Handyman Studios. I actually know a lot of history about these machines. Actually, when these machines are running, they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can actually see more of these machines actually at the Culture Museum. The Culture Museum would be in Woonsocket, Rhode Island.
Oh, yes.
So the Culture Museum, it would actually be child labor. It'd be called child labor up there. And it would be 40 hours a day work these children. So from sun up to sundown. So those will be your days, 10 to 12 hour days in the warehouse like this. And these machines would be going back and forth, back and forth. Can you guys imagine that? Back and forth, back and forth. Now imagine a 10-year-old. Imagine one of these things snapping, and a 10-year-old run back there, they get pulverized and they get killed.
Yeah, right.
Do you know how many deaths was probably in this building alone? Probably over hundreds of deaths. Injuries. I'm talking about sprained ankles, kids dying.
10 years old.
As young as 8 years old, they're working on this machine, and this machine would be going back and forth. This thing would be going fast. You see it going. I wish they can actually show you how fast this machine was going. They actually have up in the museum of one socket, if you want to go see it, they actually have it where it's on.
Oh, wow.
And you can actually go see it though, but the machine won't hurt you now. So you gotta run in there quick, you're gonna fix it, and then they'll time you how fast you are. And if you're not fast enough, the machine just comes back and lightly taps you. So it just tells you, hey, you got caught in the machine.
That's great. Nice to meet you. You take care.
Oh, you too.
That tube then gets a twist so it can be ready for the bobbin.
I want to ask the lady one more time if we can get that machine on again.
Like my family growing up, we made quilts a lot. We were always buying cotton batting. That kind of nice.
There's a lot of cotton over here, guys.
That comes off the carded.
This is what she was talking about, the seeds, right here. All the seeds are right there.
That's carded.
I don't know if you guys can see them, but all the seeds are in there. This was from Haiti. A lot of that poster was over there, that what I was talking about, that came from Haiti. So a lot of the cotton came from Haiti and it came up to the United States. But a lot of also cotton came from America though too. It was actually cotton fields out in America. But that is all for now. We're going to be right back with Handyman Studios. Don't go anywhere, guys. And thank you for watching once again.